Well, hello you bearded bastards, and welcome back once again to Ushangvagush, Monsterkiller. Now then, let's get right to it. Zooming in, I currently have the game paused because if you remember right at the end of last episode we had a particularly nasty forgotten beast show up. This fella right here, on the first cavern layer with the old fortress and all of the dwarves. Very nasty, but we'll get back to that in a moment. Currently the 13th of Galena, 255, late summer. And the dwarves have just about finished cleaning up after that siege that showed up last episode. Quite a siege too, wasn't it? But we made it through. We've proven ourselves to those damn bastard goblins. They won't be taking us down anytime soon, that's for sure. Now let's see here. Whew, okay. This episode, I'm gonna mainly be focusing on the new fortress deep under the earth. We have to get that place into a livable state if we're gonna ever be defensible. This place here is a sitting duck. And I'm not certain we can handle another siege like that last one, so we have to prepare ourselves. We can't wait. On top of that, our poor military's in shambles pretty much. Just a couple ragged squads. I'm gonna have to sort through there. Oof, that's gonna be a pain. We have a bunch of migrants running around, just kind of being useless really. Right, and one other thing I'll address just real quick. These crocodiles down here, still all hatchlings. It takes 3 years for them to turn into adults, and I'm not sure how long it's been so far. It has to have been more than a year at least, maybe 2? But I'm not too sure. I'm willing to bet they have at least a year left before they become adults, so we're still waiting on those guys. And another thing I've really been wanting to do is to take a more in-depth look at our dwarves here. I know we all love Venom Blood, Obak the Bat Killer, and Dusum the Milker / Beastmaster, but there are quite a few dwarves here, some of whom are interesting characters. It'd be a shame just to ignore everyone else, but I'm not going to do that until we're a bit more safe. Really, we haven't had time to breathe around here. And honestly, if I get in depth with these dwarves here and we get killed by this forgotten beast, well, it will have been a waste of time. So that's something I'm looking to do. I know a lot of people are interested in that. That's why I'm mentioning it. But we're going to hold off a bit first, just to make sure that lower fortress is in a nice defensible state. Then I'll feel more comfortable getting to know these dwarves. You know. Anyways, okay, let's get to it. Step 1 on this episode, a forgotten beast. Now then, he is on the first cavern layer, down to the southwest, a decent distance from the fortress. Now I've got the game on pause, we're following this turtle, just to see what it does. It might come charging straight for the fortress, in which case I'll have to turn on the burrows, get the squads out. Now forgotten beasts with deadly dust are nothing to joke around with. I know I've said this before about beasts with fire, beasts with webs, but dust is a little bit different. When this creature moves in, it's going to start spraying dust all over the place, and if it hits my dwarves, it's going to A, throw them around a whole lot, damaging their soft tissue. That could easily kill a dwarf. And B, that dust might be carrying some sort of a syndrome as well. And even if that first burst of dust doesn't kill a dwarf, it's going to cover them with dust. And if they're walking around with this dust, they can pass it on to other dwarves, and things can get nasty in a real hurry. So, you know, we've rolled the dice a whole hell of a lot in this fortress, and, you know, I'm not too sure I feel comfortable heading out and just taking this beast on head on. That might be a bit too foolish. So I'm thinking I'm going to send out one squad, and if that's the case I should probably clean up our military real quick before this beast gets too close, although it sure seems to be taking its time. Alright, 31 military dwarves here in 5 squads. Let's condense this a bit, huh? Alright, there we go. I dissolved the fiery pillars because there was only 2 members left, and I put them and one of the griffins of steel in with the brass spikes, our second best military squad, which now once again has 10 members. And I think I'm going to send them out at the forgotten beast, and just them. They have skill, they have equipment, and I don't want to send my entire military out just in case that dust is a bad one. I would hate to sacrifice this squad, but it might be something that we have to do. Yeah, the beast is still wandering around the southern caverns, moving in. Yeah, it's coming towards the fortress now. Not great. Burrow 1, everyone to the fortress. Very good. Now assembling the brass spikes in the courtyard, and we're going to lock up these doors over here as well. There we go. Unpausing the game. Let's go, guys. Everyone to the fort. Looks like the turtle just killed this human monster slayer over here. Quite a shame. Yeah, wow, that wasn't much of a combat at all. Just bit the guy once in his upper body, which was then ripped into loose shreds. Damn, wow, that's rough. And there wasn't even any dust involved. That was just a single bite. Yikes. Following the beast once more, it's moving down. I believe it's destroying this chain on the ground here. It'll probably head after these doors afterwards. Yeah, I really don't cherish the thought of losing an entire squad to this bastard. Alright, well, I'll tell you what, while he's out there working on that chain, I'm gonna send the squad out. It's worked a whole bunch of times before. We send the squad out, they step one step through the door, and kill the beast. They know the routine shouldn't be a problem, I'm not thinking. Really hoping anyways. Alright, I've unlocked those doors, and they are set to kill the beast. Let's watch how this goes. Move out, dwarves! They're heading through the eastern entrance. They're in the hall now. Charging. Fighting, combat has begun. Beating the creature. Blood everywhere, and they killed it. Wow. Let's take a look at that combat, huh? Okay, really now. The creature didn't do one damn thing to any of my dwarves. I didn't even see any dust. It looks like somebody went out there, stabbed it in its leg, then somebody else jabbed it in its lung with their spear. It charged at one of the spikes, knocked them backwards. Yeah, a whole bunch of stabbing here. But yeah, doesn't look like that creature landed a single hit on any of my dwarves. Too easy. Man, oh man, I'll tell ya. You know, I was really worried about that one too. We've got to be getting lucky, right? Is that what's going on? We're just incredibly lucky here? Because I know I've fought forgotten beasts in the past that have destroyed my entire fortress no problem. My army isn't that skilled, and they have kind of crappy gear too. I guess I'm just gonna chalk it up to luck, huh? I mean, works for me, I suppose. Alright, this dwarf here is currently dragging that carcass off to a butcher shop, I imagine. Pretty cool. Can't wait to see what we get. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do give full credit to these dwarves. They certainly put their time in when it comes to training. In fact, I think they do a pretty great job. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised when they kill these creatures with such ease. Yeah, you know what? Don't look a gift turtle in the mouth, says I. Let's see, scale, bone, tooth, some meat here. 261 units, not bad. We have the skull of the creature. Oh, and hey, that's pretty cool. We have some shell here from that creature. Very cool, actually. What could we do with that? Well, we can make a whole bunch of things, really, including some armor, leggings, gauntlets, helmets. You know, I kind of like the idea of some big bulky turtle shell gauntlets. Yeah, I like that. Helmets would be cool too, but I think I'm gonna make a bunch of gauntlets for now. Yeah, and so that's what we'll do. I'm not sure how many we can make out of that shell, but we'll just try to make a bunch. Get to it, dwarves. And now that we're safe, let's focus back down in that lower new fortress. Still getting the new meeting hall smoothed out. I'll let them finish that. And then we can start getting tables and furniture in place. And we can also continue work on this lower farm area. Remember, I'd really like to get a farm down here so we can start growing food in this lower fortress area. That will make living down here a whole heck of a lot easier. But yeah, it's looking like it's gonna take a little while still. We're getting it done, just gotta have some patience, and luck I suppose, which there seems to be an abundance of here in Monsterkiller. Well, while the rock biters are getting the lower fortress all smoothed out, we do have some time to spare here, so I think I'm gonna go through, get all those new migrants squared away with proper labors, and then I'm gonna take a closer look at our military. It could use a bit more refining, I think. So, just a moment. Alright, there we go. Looks like the military is all squared away for now, and looking mighty fine if I say so myself. Now then, let's see. We'll go squad by squad. First of all, there's only 4 squads now, 40 dwarves. That's not bad. We have the Sandblades, 10 members, and I promoted Ainad no Kimisan to the position of military commander. And I feel like she deserves it. She has quite a few kills now, and she's been with the Sandblades since the very beginning, I believe. And she's also a legendary axe dwarf. Quite impressive, huh? Yeah, I think she's gonna do fine work leading our military. Now we also have the Brass Spikes. I filled out their roster as well. A bunch of skilled dwarves here. Now our third squad, the Griffins of Steel, they used to be melee dwarves just like the rest of them, but I changed it up a little and I made them Marks dwarves. All armed with bone crossbows that I'm making right now, as well as Forgotten Beast shell gauntlets, and a bunch of leather armor. I thought that'd be pretty cool. Now I don't have that much experience with Marks dwarves, so I'm hoping this all goes well. I know I have to get an archery range set up, and I'll work on that right after this. But yeah. I'm hoping to get a nice little support squad going with these guys. Now they currently have no skill whatsoever, so I don't know if I'll be throwing them out if we get attacked by anything. But in time, I'm sure they'll learn. And our 4th squad, the Tin Picks. Now I've renamed their squad, and I did that because, well, they did really good during that siege. I mean, they lost half the squad, sure, but there were still 5 left. Better than the Fiery Pillars did. And these guys didn't have any weapons at all. So they were mainly rushing in, punching things to death, grappling them down to the ground. And so that's what they're known for. As such, I have renamed them with a name that they were throwing around during their creation, just as a joke. They will now be called the Rough Lovers. Yes, they all seem to get a kick out of that name, and because they didn't have any weapons during that fighting, it almost appeared as if they were hugging their enemies to death a lot of the time, and so that's what they're going to continue to do. I'm going to get these guys all outfitted with iron armor, and on top of that, they're not going to have any shield or weapons, just iron armor. So that way when they go into combat, they're going to have to wrestle things to death. Another sort of support squad. I'm thinking these guys will be able to run in, grab their target, pin them to the ground, while other dwarves move in and hack them to death with their weapons, or shoot them with bolts. I'm not sure how well this will work, but I guess time will tell. Anyway, so that's our military, and now I gotta see if I can get enough equipment for them. Oh, here's the outpost liaison, once again asking if we'd like to become part of the homeland. No thank you. Anyways, right, equipment. We're gonna need a whole bunch of bolts for these guys. We're gonna have to see if we can get enough iron armor for the Rough Lovers. Since they're not gonna be going into combat with proper weapons, we have to make sure they're at least decently defended. But it shouldn't be a problem, I'm not too worried about it. Aside from that, I've also taken care of our citizens, Everyone in the fortress has a nice job now, and I'm gonna get them right to it. Making crafts, smoothing floors, burning wood. So as far as labor goes, we're looking pretty good, I'd say. Yes, and the dwarf merchants are here. We're gonna want to do some trading with them, see if we can get some really nice armor. I'll go through it rather quickly this time. Just a bunch of trading. Nothing too thrilling, really. You'll take your animals, for the meat, of course. No cows, once again. Sorry, Dewsum. Take your booze. Gonna take all their steel stuff, just so we can melt it down and possibly turn it into something better in the future, after we've collected enough. We'll take some of your cloth as well. Oh, and you know, they brought a bunch of bolts. Tell you what, we'll take them all. And that'll do it. A pleasure doing business with you. Now, just a gentle reminder, the dwarves here are from Ushangvagush, the Grand Lancers. That's our civilization. And this fortress here, Monsterkiller, Ushangvagush, is a metropolis because of its large population. It's still not the mountain home, though. I don't think our civilization has a mountain home, probably because it's still a bit fragmented. But if we take a look here at this tab, we can see our civilization, and if we have a look here, you can see there are still a few bastions of our civilization left in this world. A couple fortresses, Faded Oils, Trammel Whip, and Shrine Rope. Those are the other 3 fortresses that belong to our civilization, I believe. And it looks like we actually do have a general as part of our civilization as well. I'm not too sure where the hell they live. Now let's take a look, see if we can see where these fortresses are exactly. Well, if we have a look here, you can see those 3 fortresses tucked away in this tiny mountain, known as the Mellow Axe, up in the northeast of the world. Now our fortress is way the hell over on the western side of the continent, quite a ways away, over here in the Bourne Dunes. It would take us a solid 5 days travel to get all the way back over there. So yeah, quite a ways. Now back up here, if we have a look at these fortresses, Trammel Whip and Faded Oils both have no civilized population to speak of. So I'm not too sure why they're governed by barons. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Maybe they're trying to reclaim their fortresses? An interesting thought. And over here, if we take a look at Shrine Rope, it has a population of about 30, but the fortress is owned by the Stoked Fellowship, which is a group from the Spry Confederations, who are the humans that we deal with. Our civilization doesn't even control this site. Very odd, huh? So yeah, although there are a few fortresses left in the world that belong to our civilization, nobody lives there at all. Our civilization lays in ruins, even to this day. I suppose that would explain why our dwarves ran all the way to the west here. A fresh start and all. Makes sense to me. Here I was hoping that our civilization had been growing this entire time, but I guess it's just not the case. Oh well. We don't need other dwarves taking our glory. We're doing fine by ourselves. Now let's see here, back down here at this farming area, we have walls in place up to the north and down south, some doors as well, and a screw pump. So I think I'm gonna get that bad boy started and we'll start getting this place nice and muddy. What do you say? Somebody should be on their way as we speak. Alright, here we go. And there we are. We'll just let it go for a little bit. Make sure this field is nice and covered with water. Another forgotten beast. For the forgotten beast, Ak-Memor has come. A nice short name for once. An enormous, skinless antelope. It has 4 short horns and it belches and croaks. Beware its poisonous sting. Considering how these beasts have been going, this one doesn't really sound too bad to me. A poison sting? I mean, come now. What's that even gonna do? Yeah, I'm not too concerned, I guess. Now, it looks like that creature is in the 2nd cavern level with our new fortress. As is typical at this point, I'm going to assemble the squads here in our main hallway. I'll get the sand blades, and what the hell, we'll take the rough lovers as well. It'll be a good first test for them. Let's go, guys, we have a beast on its way. Not that it's going to be a challenge. The beast is making its way swiftly towards the fortress. Very quickly, running through this tunnel here. Up a slope. Very close to the fortress now. There's a dwarf here. Etter, the log tosser. That's not great. I don't think the beast has spotted him yet. Be smart, dude. Alright, he's coming. Yeah, the beast hasn't spotted him yet. Oh, damn it, we have rat bite here as well. Oh, that is not great. Alright, I tell you what, I'm gonna send all the squads out. Oh, that's a mistake. I'm going to send out everyone but the Griffins of Steel. And I'm going to follow the beast. And I'm going to turn on the burrow. Let's go, dwarves. Don't be stupid, please. Following the beast. Alright, the beast is moving down towards Ratbite. Run, Ratbite. Okay, she's making her way for the fortress. Come on, keep running. Alright, the antelope is charging after her. Here come the warriors. Out of the gate. They're engaged with the creature. The warrior's fighting, taking some hits. The creature's down. Enraged. It is taking some hits. And it's dead. Whew, that was a tough one. I didn't think it would give us that much trouble. Yeah, and you know, once again, it looks like that beast didn't manage to do a single thing to any of my dwarves. It was attacking, but it kept missing. Just again and again and again. A beautiful fight, dwarves. Turning off the burrow, and everyone back to work. Good job, fellas. Now I'm gonna plop a butcher shop next to it, just to help speed up the process, and we'll get this big bastard taken care of. We should have a good amount of horn off this creature. I'm not sure what I could do with that, but we'll find out. Probably just crafts, I imagine. And some more migrants here, fantastic. Come on in, guys. I gotta say, in my opinion, Ushangvagush is thriving. Damn those goblins and their sieges. They can't do a thing to us. Alright, geez, forgot about this farm area here. A little over flooded now. Alright, well maybe I'll unlock these doors here. I'm really hoping this dwarf doesn't open this door here and water rushes out, pushing him into this lake. That would really stink. Alright, and they're good. Okay, no worries. We're good. Alright, now that this field is horribly flooded, how about we figure out a nice walkway up to the meeting hall from here, just to give us some time to dry out. Alright, now let's see here. Alright, we'll come up here to the meeting hall, and we'll make a little way out right here. Okay? Just like that. So dwarves can come out onto this ledge, some nice fungus, mosses, a couple mushroom trees here, and then we'll make a staircase right here. Down, 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 to the farm area. Nice and simple, right? Nothing too complicated, and that'll be nice, I think. Take advantage of our natural surroundings. It is a bit dangerous for dwarves to go wandering around out in the caverns, but that's fine, these dwarves are hardy, they don't mind at all. Yeah, really not too concerned about it, honestly. Alright, looks like this new entrance is good to go. Putting some doors up, but this field is still draining out. We'll just give it a second. You know, it's funny how I say we have to hurry on certain projects, but then I'll take the time to clear all the boulders out of a room. Yeah, you know, it's such a piddling little thing, but this room's gonna look so nice when all these boulders are out of here. It's worth the wait. Those goblins won't be coming back for quite some time, I don't think, anyways. No worries. Hey, looks like we have some giant one-humped camels up on the surface here. I'll tell you what, let's take one of our new squads, I'm thinking the Rough Lovers, and let's give them some real training. What do you say? Sounds good to me. Go get them, lovers. Let's see what you can do. Prepare yourselves for some rough love, you one-humped bastards. Alright, now I'm just gonna follow this one camel right here, see how it fares. Sauntering through the desert, minding its own business. And here they come. You know, every once in a while you stumble upon a scene in Dwarf Fortress that is just a thing of beauty, I'll tell you. Now, just take a look here, just for a moment. We have this dwarf, right here, the one flashing with the axe. Asmel Knife Color, one of the Rough Lovers. Now, I'm thinking I made a grievous mistake when I assigned their uniforms, because currently all he's wearing are a couple of Forgotten Beast Shell gauntlets and a white stork leather cloak that is badly tattered. That's it. So yeah. Mr. Knife Color is pretty much totally in the nude right now, irritated at being in the sunlight. And you should also note that most of the dwarves I've been drawing so far throughout this series are drawn to their actual in-game description, as far as I'm able to anyways. And so when I draw Asmel here, he does in fact have a short, broad body with ill-defined muscles. A beautiful description. So yeah, a fairly doughy fellow here. Oh, and you know what? I just realized he happens to be captain of the Rough Lovers as well. Fantastic. Chasing a giant camel, which I should know is only slightly smaller than an elephant. Let's see how he does. I do have full confidence in his abilities, believe it or not. Alright, he appears to be going a bit slow. Not used to the sunlight, I'd imagine. It looks like the camel has far outpaced him. He's just kind of stopped here, waiting, resting, catching his breath perhaps. Moving in on a camel, just to the north of him now. Yeah, wow, he is out of breath, tired, out here in the sun, in the nude, chasing a camel. Yeah, you know, I don't think he's gonna catch up to this thing. Let's see how the other warriors are doing. Well, looks like this guy's caught up to a camel. Getting some hits in. Oh, he knocked it down to the ground. Oh, and he jumped over to this other camel, chasing it down, getting some hits in. Come on, you just gotta get one good crack in at it, break its leg or something. Looks like these guys might be having some trouble here. It's gonna take a lot of work on their part to kill these camels, just by punching them. We have 3-on-1 right now, they can't seem to kill this camel. Well, it's some good training regardless, I think. Alright, tell you what, I don't think they're gonna kill these camels. Not before they dehydrate to death anyways. I'm gonna send them home. Good fighting today, guys. Back here at the new fortress. Man, would you take a look at that meeting hall? I told you it would be worth it. That is slick, huh? Yeah, I'm a big fan. And back here to the farm area. It looks like it's dried up enough where we can start putting some farm plots down. So let's do that. There we go, that's how we'll do it right there. 3 nice big fields. Plenty of space to farm in. And we'll also queue up a spot over here to be dug out for a seed storage chamber. That should do the trick. Nothing too big. That gets us to a pretty good spot on the farm front, I'd say. Now a few of these dwarves are just finishing up smoothing the entry hall. Shouldn't take too much longer. And when that's done, we'll start working on a food storage area. We're gonna need a nice place to put food if we're gonna be stuck down in this fortress for any reason. Alright, now let's see food storage. Well, I'll tell you what, how about we make some food storage off either end, the north and the south. We'll make room for prepared meals and drinks. There we are. Easy enough. A small chamber at either side. That should suit our needs, I think. Alright, now the next thing I'd really like to do is to get some glass windows up in that meeting hall. We're gonna want that place to look pretty spiffy because I'm also hoping to make it a tavern in the future. And anyone who comes to visit should know immediately that it's the best tavern in the world. I'm thinking some nice windows should do the trick in that. People can look out, see the underground caverns. It's gonna be pretty amazing. But we still have a little bit to go on that. I don't have much experience making glass, so I'm gonna be pretty clunky through the process. Oh damn. Total emergency here. One of the rough lovers was just killed by a couple of blind cave ogres. And those guys are pretty badasses. Oh man, this is super ugly actually. Oh, like totally ugly. Damn. There are 2 blind cave ogres up here, right by this poor guy's corpse. And there's one down here with all my civilians. Oh man, this might go really badly. Blind cave ogres are enormous monsters. Seriously threatening. Ah, what the hell, let's take a look at them, huh? A blind cave ogre, a large cavern-dwelling humanoid monster. It has a gaping mouth with many sharp teeth. It has no eyes and only 2 digits on each hand and foot. This particular one is incredibly muscular and has white skin. Oh god, that is so nasty, huh? Man, oh man. Of course, I've been saying that all along, and we just keep getting lucky, so maybe I can hope for a little bit of luck once more, please? Alright, as I said, this one down here is surrounded by civilians. I don't see any blood right now. I'm calling out all the squads, but unfortunately they're up in the first cavern level, so it's going to take them a bit to get down here. Alright, I just gave the order, and I'm going to send everyone to Burrow 7. That's the meeting hall up top. Alright, let's see how this plays out. Alright, it's unpaused. Dwarves are trying to get to the burrow. I don't know what this ogre's doing. This one just seems to be kind of minding its own business. Perhaps a little confused. No, he's destroying workshops. The other ones are moving into the fortress. They've spotted the civilians, are moving in, but they don't seem to be fighting anyone. Here come the warriors. The warriors are moving in, fighting one. Surrounding it, it's panicking. They've completely covered it. I believe it's dead. They moved on to a next one. They killed it. And the third, who's up top here, 1 versus 1. Oh, someone just died. Come on, you guys, get in there. 1 versus 1 yet again. Come on, guys. There we go. Okay. All 3 blind cave ogres down. Now let's see. Who the hell did we lose? It looks like we lost 2 of the rough lovers in that fighting. Not a good start, guys. Come on. You guys gotta prove yourselves. Yeah, that stinks. Well, they are intended to be support units after all. Well, I'm turning off the burrow, sending the squads home, and we'll have to find ourselves a couple more lovers and rebuild these workshops down here, I suppose. Damn it. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, I still find myself having faith in the lovers. I think they're gonna pull through. I just have a feeling. Alright, looks like glass production is well underway. Good. I'll just let them go at it for a while. The reason there were so many civilians down here is because I'm getting this tunnel cleaned up, getting all these boulders cleared out of here, like how we did with the meeting hall. It's gonna take a little bit, but again, I think it's gonna be worth it. Oh hey, just had a fun idea. We have some naked mole dogs up in the first cavern layer, harassing this poor wounded war dog. Naked mole dogs shouldn't be too difficult for the rough lovers to handle, huh? That's what I'm hoping anyways. I've already set them to be destroyed. Let's hope it goes well. Alright, one of the dogs is coming into the fortress. He's in the stockpile and heading back out. Here come the rough lovers, trying to catch these slippery bastards. Up here it looks like, oh, these guys caught one. There you go. Give him a little bit of that rough love. Go ahead, get him guys. There they go. Fantastic. 2 down. Well, looks like we have a few left over here. They're cornered, nowhere to go. Prepare for rough love. Rough lovers moving in, strangling the naked mole dogs. Still not wearing any clothes, although some of them do have iron helms now, which is better than nothing, technically. Alright, they're not doing half bad against these very weak opponents. That's good to see. So worst comes to worst, we can use these guys as a sort of a pest control, I suppose. But no, I actually still have faith in these guys. You'll see. You just watch. Alright, now I realize we're swiftly approaching the end of this episode, but there's something I've really been meaning to do. In the first couple episodes I gave out nicknames to dwarves, and I realize now that I haven't done that in quite some time. With all the action around here, I guess I just keep forgetting. But there are a couple of dwarves I'd really like to give nicknames to, and I think I'm gonna do that right now. Alright, let's see here. First up we have Uvash Monamshemeb, one of the brass spikes. This is the dwarf that killed that leech forgotten beast a few episodes ago. And she actually performed very well in that siege. If you take a look here, she actually killed 5 beak dogs and 3 goblins as well. Not too bad if I say so myself. As such, she shall receive the nickname Leech Mace. Fairly straightforward, nothing too special. but at least it makes her stand out. Now, the second dwarf I'd like to have a nickname is Mengbak Bonfikad, one of the Sandblades, the one that we were following around during that siege. Now, she hasn't been around as long as many of the other dwarves. She's only been here a couple of years, but she's already a legendary swords dwarf, and she did very well during that siege. In fact, she managed to kill 6 goblins and 9 beak dogs. That's really something. And on top of that, she sustained no injuries whatsoever. Very impressive. And in fact, I think that's one of the best records of any of my military dwarves during that siege, and so Meng shall receive the nickname Siegebreaker. I like that. It's good to be able to see a dwarf and immediately remember the moment that they are most known for. Brings you closer to them, you know? And there's another Sandblade who I think should really get a nickname at this point, Dakhast Dodaktalesh. This guy's been around forever, since our very first year actually. He must have come in the first migrant wave. That being said, he still isn't a legendary axe dwarf, even though he's basically been training this entire time. And also, strangely enough, he really hasn't gotten many kills whatsoever. In fact, I thought he had gotten no kills up to this point, which was very strange. But now that I'm having a look, it actually looks like he's the one who killed that last forgotten beast that showed up, the skinless antelope, as well as a giant one-humped camel. I've been showing this dwarf in pictures for quite some time now as well. He's the one who had the arrow coming out of his helmet. And just because he seems kind of lazy and unskilled, I'm going to assign him the nickname Arrowhead. It suits him, I'd say. Yep, I'm a big fan of this guy. Very loyal. An important trait, of course. And the last dwarf I would like to assign a nickname to is Asmel Zesitdakas, the leader of the Rough Lovers. I mean, you gotta admit, this guy's already earned a nickname. He's loaded with character at this point. I mean, the dude went up to fight those giant one-humped camels in the nude. Yeah, I mean, geez. The guy is still only wearing those gauntlets, a helmet, and a chicken leather cloak. What a goof, huh? He definitely deserves a nickname. And so from this day forward, you shall be known as One Hump. Just because he fought those camels up top there, you know. Old One Hump Asmal. Yeah, I like it. Oh, and you know what? Something else I'm gonna do. I'm going to assign One Hump a specific piece of armor, like a badge of honor, I suppose. Ah, here we are. Vathesmostib, that large rat leather thong. Yeah, I'd say that's fairly apt. At least now we have some coverage down there. Always a good thing. Enjoy, buddy. Oh, you dwarves, I'll tell ya. Bunch of rat bastards. Oh, and it looks like we're gonna finish off this episode with yet another forgotten beast. The forgotten beast Rubsit has come. A gigantic, scaly weevil. It has large mandibles and it has a bloated body. Its white scales are jagged and set far apart. Beware its deadly blood. Kind of a nasty looking character. And you know, I've been noticing an evolution in my attitude towards these forgotten beasts. At the very beginning of this fortress, I was terrified of them, and then after we killed a couple, I was feeling a little bit more confident, but still cautious. Just kind of waiting for that one that would come in and destroy all of my dwarves. But you know what? I think at this point, I've just about thrown all caution to the wind. Which is terrible, right? I mean, that's not good. But in all honesty, I'm feeling 100% confident that we can take down any forgotten beast that shows up at this point without suffering any injuries whatsoever. So I'll tell you what, Rubsit, come on in, we'll take you down just like the rest of them, and we'll butcher up your damn bloated carcass and eat you for dinner. How does that sound, you big bastard? Yeah, no worries whatsoever. This is Monsterkiller. We are Ushangvagush, and you can go straight to hell, you big bug. But once again, that will have to wait until next episode. Some pretty good progress this time, I'd say. The lower fortress is coming right along. We do have some windows up now. The meeting hall is looking pretty good. Just need some more tables and chairs in there. And the first level of the residence area is almost completely smooth now. Looking good. Still gonna take a bit, but it's coming right along. Anywho, I do hope you enjoyed watching this episode, and I certainly hope you'll join me next time, here in Ushangvagush, Monsterkiller. And until then, you bearded bastards,